visits to Phillip Island and Sepang brought a close to this year's flyaway tour, with two cracking races providing plenty of thrills and spills. With so much on-track excitement, you may not have caught all the action, so these are your other battles from the Australian and Malaysian Grand Prix. An overtaking fest at Phillip Island saw the top 7 finish within a second of one another in a simply thrilling race, but it was Alex Rins who proved a bolt from the blue. The Suzuki rider started his victory assault from 10th on the grid, besting the likes of home hero Jack Miller on his way towards the lead pack before a stunning last lap move on Pecco Bagnaia handed the Spaniard the win. Enea Bastianini was another rider to charge from deep on the grid, going from P15 to P5. Having dropped 5 places on the opening laps, the Gresini star found excellent race pace to move into the top 10 before forcing his way past Brad Binder on lap 16, pushing the South African wide in the process at the recently named Miller Corner. The beast was then locked in a battle for 7th place with Aleix Espargaro for 3 laps before eventually winning out. His day wasn't quite done yet, as Bastianini secured a top 5 finish thanks to last lap overtakes on Jorge Martin and Luca Marini. Away from the battle royale out front, Espargaro struggled to find the pace needed to keep with the top riders. He couldn't maximise his P4 start and began to slip down the pecking order. He lost out in an early battle with Jack Miller, and the Aprilia rider then began to move backwards. Rins, Marco Bezzecchi and Luca Marini all went through on him despite his best efforts to keep them at bay, while Bastianini made his move stick on lap 22. In the end, a P9 finish wasn't the result the number 41 was looking for, as his title bid faltered in Australia. Joan Mir made his racing return at Phillip Island following a stint out with injury. Starting 14th on the grid, he made his way as high as 7th during the race's opening quarter before fading. On laps 7 and 8, he battled Maverick Vinales, with the Aprilia rider eventually getting the better of him. Mir's slide down the pack continued, with Remy Gardner overtaking him on lap 21. On the same lap, Franco Morbidelli crashed out of the Grand Prix after a battle with Raul Fernandez, and it allowed the Spaniard to begin reeling in Mir, managing to move past the 2020 World Champion at turn 4 with just 2 to go. 1 week later, and it was lights out in Malaysia, with electric starts seeing Pecco Bagnaia and Fabio Quartararo launch their podium charges in Sepang. It was the polar opposite though for Luca Marini, who failed to see out the opening lap due to technical problems, recording his first ever Premier Class DNF in the process. Marini's rookie teammate Marco Bezzecchi also encountered a difficult start after launching from 4th on the grid, even dropping outside of the top 10. Having settled into the race, the Italian began to navigate his way back towards the front. He managed to pick off Alex Rins at turn 15 on lap 6 before joining Marc Marquez and barging his way past Joan Mir 1 lap later at the same corner. Moments after, he took full advantage of the power in his Ducati down the main straight to blast past the 8-time world champion. Bez then set his sights on chasing down Fabio Quartararo and a second ever Premier Class podium. And though it looked very likely at one point that he may catch him, the VR46 rider's challenge eventually ran out of steam. While one factory Ducati took victory, the other put in a stellar performance to help seal the team's championship. Jack Miller recovered from a terrible start to take a top 6 finish with the last lap overtake on Marquez, the cherry on top of his strong ride. Aleix Espargaro saw his 2022 championship bid officially come to an end in Sepang. While his title rivals broke away out front, the Aprilia rider was mired in mid-pack and unable to progress forward from a P10 start. He fought with Johan Zarco for the majority of the race, but the Frenchman took this one, and on the final lap he had Franco Morbidelli for company with the Yamaha rider, making contact at turn 14, which drew the ire of the stewards and earned him a 3-second penalty. As a result, Aleix was awarded a top 10 finish. Morbidelli himself had an eventful race. The number 21 launched from a season best P7, and an early move on Joan Mir had him inside the top 6, but a double long lap penalty saw him fall out of contention. He had the pace to recover and challenge for a place inside the top 10, but another penalty for the Espargaro incident meant he took P11 on the day. Tech problems with his GSX-RR saw Joan Mir take the checkered flag last, while neither Darren Binder nor Fabio De Gianantonio managed to finish the race, with both riders going down at the same corner. They'll have to dust themselves down with only one race remaining in 2022. All roads lead to Valencia for the decider, where we will finally know the fate of this year's championship. Make sure you follow all the build-up and preview action on MotoGP.com.